So I'm here with Ravi, but Ravi, could you tell us a little bit about yourself, how you got into this space, and what really brought you to making a course like this?
All right. So, uh, my background is about cybersecurity. So, from my childhood, I was fascinated about securities, and the first hack that I did in my life was I break that BIOS password just by putting the jumper, right? So this was like
Right.
cool, right? Like, and how it happened, it made me curious, right? As a kid. So I started reading about it. I joined the hardware and networking classes, and eventually I moved into the engineering, where I wanted to drop out, but family didn't make me drop out the college. But then I joined the company for as an network security as well as application security engineer. Eventually, I moved to the more into this malware stuff, and I was really good in assembly language, which was my one of the favorite language, I would say. And then that helped me the malware analysis, and then having the knowledge of Windows internals and assembly language that makes you really good into expert development. So I jumped into expert development, then I jumped into IoT security. I jumped into a telecom security. I was like, okay, which is the one domain that is a combination of all? That is automotive security. And if you Google, you can Google right away that is there any training or is there any course right now on the whole internet training about automotive cybersecurity, pen testing on the field? Not about the compliance or not about the checklist, right? We are talking about really hacking the cars, right? Which now has
Mhm.
become a big market, right? So I got an opportunity from PenTest Max, so I was like, why not? Let's do it.
Right, right. And no, I'm totally with you on that too. This seems to be one of those topics that there's not a whole lot of information on. Right. Of course, you can kind of seek it out in small bits and pieces, but boy, I had a sneak peek of your course, and whew, you go into some stuff. Like, I have a little bit of experience myself with just messing with the canvas, right? Doing replay attacks and whatnot. Watching my car do things that I don't want it to ever do again. Um, but you go so much further than that. However, instead of me trying to guess at like all the additional stuff, could you tell us more about the in-depth material that's in the course besides or beyond just the canvas?
Okay, so uh, the first issue that I wanted to address in this course was the methodology. Okay, so what I had the past experience of automotive security. I had been a research lead in my previous organization. So over there, there was a flaw in the reverse engineering methodology for the car. So, for the canvas, they used to have the canvas and they used to pen test the interfaces different. So this is not something that we should do, right? So I was like, okay, let's design a course such a way that you can relate the data out of it, and you can understand if I hack the Bluetooth of the car, there can be an impact on the canvas, and how
Hmm.
can I leverage that uh, Bluetooth hacking to turn off your braking system, you turn off your acceleration. So this
Right.
course was designed out of this kind of a mindset. Yeah.
Right, right. But a lot of different vectors than just simple plugging in. And I thought that was amazing. I was like, oh, look at this. Like, I'm really excited for it, to be honest. Glad that I'm here with you looking at it. Now, with this, one of the things in the field, in our industry, I really love how you're kind of talking about how you came to automotive hacking. From what I gathered, you did some engineering, you did networking, obviously, you did some programmatic things like programming, reverse engineering malware, dealing with assembly. And then you wanted to combine it all. My attitude on we'll just call it or I'll call it the hacking spaces. It's just a plethora of a ton of different things that you can do, right? Now, with that, this specific course, who is your intended audience and what is your expectation of the skill level before they come and take the course? Like, what's going to set them up for the most successful experience after signing up or before signing up, rather?
Okay, so it can vary from the researchers who want to get into automotive security. And if you read the car hacking books and the blogs,
Mhm.
you have a scattered information everywhere. You can find blogs
Right.
about campus reverse engineering. You can find about Wi-Fi hacking or Bluetooth hacking, stuff like that. But there is a
Mhm.
no correlation out of it. So if you are a researcher, you want to understand what is like how you can hack the car just by like browsing a URL, and you can turn off your car, which I had
Mhm.
done in my previous organization, in my previous projects. I had, done that. So the researchers are the main target. We can say the OEMs, right? They are manufacturing the hardwares, right? And they
Mhm.
need to be aware that okay, not just encryption can handle everything. There are the logical flaws. Yeah,
Right.
there are the logical flaws that if I that kind that would be a feature for you, but that would be a logical bug for me, right? So this
Mhm.
is this is kind of a mindset building for the OEM. This will be very much helpful. This can again target the vehicle manufacturers because they have to integrate all those hardwares into their vehicles. And as you know,
Mhm.
that a car can have more than 100 of the ECOs in the distributed network. So I
Mhm.
explained that network types, the distribution, and what you have to target according to that distribution and according to that topology. So this is for the vehicle manufacturers as well. And it can go on and on, right? Yeah.
Yeah, sure. I mean, a lot of us hackers here, like I said, we just get into all sorts of things and then, oh, I should go hack a car too, because you can do that. So,
Yeah.
for sure. But one of my gearings in education as well is, it's called scaffolding. You take somewhere from the knowledge that they know and they build you up. Um, so, again, your course looks very encompassing, and I wanted to know what your expectation was in terms of a lot of my students ask, "Oh, well, do I need to know how to program? Do I need to know, advanced uh, systems administration for all of these networks and all of It's okay, I got you, right? Like, um, know about computers, know what they are, right? And we'll kind of build you up from there. But it depends on the course, right? My ethical hacking and network defense course, for instance, I'm not telling them, okay, know how to turn on a computer. I'm telling them, no, I want you to know the terminal a little bit. I want you to know operating systems a little bit, go through. I need you to know a little bit about networking. So, um, but this is such a fascinating arena, I think, that and correct me if I'm wrong in my thinking, but this particular arena can there's a spot for everybody, right? There's spots for the researchers obviously like you, but there's also spots for people who are curious about it and starting out, right? And the whole point for you developing the course is to learn. so
Exactly.
so yeah, I mean, obviously don't know all of automotive hacking and then get the course and be like, oh, okay, I'm good. No, no, no. And the what you're talking about, the collation of things, because yes, the value of a course, in my opinion, is the efficient gathering of the knowledge and the information and that instruction where the learner doesn't have to go seek it out themselves. Because, yeah, you can seek out all of the pieces of information. You could take 2 years doing that. But you've done a really big thing of doing it. It's done. You don't have to spend 2 years. You sit down and you go through the course accordingly. Like really incredible, man. I'm really, yeah, I hope that people see like what an incredible value that collation of material and the content is. With this though, one of the other things that I get asked a lot is I'm learning this and I'd like to do this as a job. I'd like to do this in the industry outside of, just the curiosity or just the interest of it. So, what can someone do with the knowledge from your course to implement this into a career?
Okay, so definitely the knowledge doesn't go waste, right? So this is the the combine of everything, like
Hmm.
irrespective of network, irrespective of web application, if irrespective of API, irrespective of application security, you know the network security. Because we had done Ethernet testing as well, but yeah, contextually to the
Right.
automotive, we had done the canvas, as you know, we had done the firmware reverse engineering. So yes, you can do the IoT security. You
Hmm.
will learn the IoT security. Not even that, you will learn the fuzzing. You will learn the browser fuzzing. So how you can crash the browser. Yeah, take it that do RCE, craft your RCE so that you can send the particular CAN packet, and that CAN packet will crash your car, which I
Hmm.
had already included in the course. And
Right.
the one more most important thing is telecom security. So you will find hard, because you will find a lot of research paper for telecom security, but you will not find any blogs or books teaching you how to test the telecom network, right? So I
Mhm.
had done
Right.
that in the bits and pieces for the telecom security, because that can again go wrong with the law enforcement if you know make your own BTS or make your own telecom tower. So that's
Mhm.
why with the CAD we had done that. So this can target larger audience. I would say anyone who is curious to learn security, you can start
Mhm.
with this.
Yeah. Yeah. And to me, it sounds like the application of the knowledge, even though this course is focused on automotive, you can apply these knowledges and these techniques just across a wide variety of industry and actually have um, like working examples of that knowledge, right? Would that be fair? Fair to say?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So another thing when it comes to automotive security, you're talking about cutting the brakes of a car or crashing the car or doing some type of denial of service. I, the how would I say? My knowledge of things is directly plugging into the ODB, right? So, sure, I could make a remote control and do that kind of thing, but the level of sophistication that I would need in order to get into the specific car, to plug in and then figure out all of the headers and the data for that particular CAN network, right? It's going to be pretty high and not very likely for somebody like me at my skill level to execute on just willy nilly. However, with your knowledge and your experience, what's the level of sophistication for doing these types of attacks just on vehicles that are driving on the road?
Okay, so uh, as a beginner, you can start. It's just a matter of a time and a dedication that you can give for the
Hmm.
subject. The hard topics are the telecom security, as well as this, telecom security that we had covered for the V2X exploitation, as well as the browser fuzzing part. So you can go ahead and build your basics with the course, build your intermediate knowledge with the course. But for the advanced, you have to do more, give more time, more dedication for that.
Yeah, of course. But the likelihood of, I'm thinking of just like normal people because when I say, oh, yeah, I hacked a car, I did this thing, like, oh my God, hackers are going to just take over my car while I'm driving on the freeway. What's really the fear here? What's your sense on the likelihood that that would ever come to be?
Okay, so as a car owner, or as a driver, I would say
Uh,
there you have a limited, access to what you can do. But as a vehicle
right,
manufacturer, you have to do it, right? That is the
right.
first target market for us. So uh,
Yes.
you as a driver just can drive safe and pray to the God.
But sometimes, with this as well, an example that I like to just muse about is autonomous vehicles, right? So we see that vehicles are driving themselves, or there's some person that's sitting in the driver's seat looking really bored because they're just making sure it doesn't crash into anything. Their job is literally, I'll put my hands on the wheel if it starts veering off, or, take control if I absolutely need to. Um, I mean, or what's your take? I feel that this topic is so incredibly important for manufacturers to consider, because if we start getting into ride sharing, like services like Uber, or other types of taxi services that might be put up from this, um, that access that you're talking about becomes far greater, because if the car that is being driven is unattended by a human, well, a malicious actor is a person who can take physical action, if no one else is present, right?
Right.
Or what's
So
your take? Do autonomous vehicles, are they considering this? And does it change?
yes, so autonomous vehicle is going to be the biggest target for automotive security researchers, and definitely. So now you are having the cars which are driverless.
Right.
Softwares are running the car, and where there is a software, there is a vulnerability. As simple as that, right?
Hmm.
So
Absolutely.
So this autonomous automotive market is going to be the biggest, and that is looking at the trend, looking at the need. Vehicle manufacturers have become serious. They are hiring people. They are making them work, do the pen testing. There is an ISO 21434 in the place who makes it mandatory for the vehicle manufacturers to follow that standard, right? And they have to do the pen testing on the vehicles, submit the report to the auditors, and then auditors will see the demo and everything, and then they will approve. So we are going in the right way. But yes,
Oh, yeah.
this is going to be large, really large.
Right. Right. You've mentioned, cutting the brakes, crashing the car, but what's the craziest vehicle hacking story that you have? And could you walk us through that from start to finish? Like, what was that experience like?
Okay, so this was an easy bug that I had encountered. So there was a companion application, Android application, that used to lock and unlock the car and submit the
Okay.
status report
Yep.
to the cloud. Okay, so
Hmm.
I was given a task to to hack that Android application. So when I started, it was having a lot of anti stuff, anti reverse engineering, anti VM, and anti debug and everything. So I took a time,
Sure.
I patched that, okay, and then resigned the application, and then I run it. And which was the craziest thing? I didn't went for the exploitation of the activities or the broadcast or the providers and all. I just directly opened the ADB logcat. In that
Huh?
logcat, I saw the cloud's admin username and password. And the username was
Oh
admin,
no.
and the password was a little custom.
Oh my God. You're kidding me.
This is real stuff.
That's awful, man.
But the
The
CEO of
crazy
that
things we see, huh?
CEO of that vehicle manufacturer appreciated my work, but she was crazy after the developers. Like, how can you make the username admin? Come on, guys.
Right, right. And on top of that, the fact that you just found it inside of the utility, right? I talk about hard coding passwords all the time. Just don't do it. Just don't do it. Why don't we do it, Robbie? Well, because here you are, for crying out loud, saying and you saw it, admin, and then there's the password right there. Just
And the
'cause
second most craziest thing that we did was
mhm,
we were on the on-site, and I was doing the browser fuzzing on the head unit, the Android Auto, and
mhm,
I write the exploit for the like for the DOM, the DOM of browser, right? So
mhm,
I was writing a DOM exploit for the browser, and
mhm.
it was just a DOS. Like I was just putting a lot of characters into a one string and was trying to embed that string on the domain. Oh yeah,
Mhm.
that crashed the browser. Eventually, once the browser crashed, the car started restarting.
Okay.
So we were like, okay, let's try on running the vehicle because the vehicles are designed in such a way that you cannot inject the CAN packets when they are running
Mhm.
above 15 kilometer per hour. But we
Okay.
were not injecting the packets. The system was itself injecting the packets, right? So we
Right.
drive the car at 40 kilometer per hour. We just
Uh-huh.
visited that URL and
Uh-huh.
our brakes shut off. And we
Oh
had
my
to
god.
nearly, that was like craziest thing. We had to open the doors and jump out of it.
What happened to the vehicle? It
Oh
stopped
God.
by hitting something or what?
Yeah,
Oh my word. Yeah, that would be wild. That would be fun, man.
that's why I love the job.
That's good. So, yeah, you put in a lot of work to reverse and break through all the anti stuff in the application, found creds to their cloud, and then you were able to create like a denial of service of the brake system, and also bypass a security mechanism of not being allowed to inject packets because you had the system do it to itself. Yeah, did I followed that all right? Oh my word. Oh, geez. So, I do see a question. I know that Bartek wanted to field the questions, but this is one I feel is pretty important. Somebody asked if there's any programming experience that you require prior to joining this course. What's your take on that?
Okay, so in the two segment, you will require the programming, not
Hmm.
extensive, I would say. In where if you are building a product for automotive security, I would say defensive side. Like I had recorded a video I had shown in the course about how you can make an IDS system for the CAN, and I was able to detect the buffer, sorry, I would say replay attacks and all. And the other part was browser fuzzing, where you have to, write an exploit programmatically on those two module only. You need a programming. Otherwise, if you don't have a programming background, you don't know about it, there are the tools available on the GitHub. Just write it, and the way I show it, just use that methodology and you're good to
Hmm.
go.
Right. And what languages are you going to be using?
Multiple, I would say.
Oh yeah.
Python is the premium, like the main language, I would say.
Okay. All right. Well, fair enough. Is there anything that you wanted to tell your upcoming students or people who are interested in joining your course? Um, Anything you wanted to impart with them?
So this is I want to convey a message that you will never regret uh, uh, by joining this course. You will have the best time, best learning, and automotive is a field that is a correlation of every damn field: IoT, hardware, software security, application security, or network security, or telecom security. So you will learn all those domains in the course. So you will love it, enjoy it. Thank you.
All right. Well, Ravi, that's all I had for you. I saw the course. I see how much you're breaking it down, so many things that you're doing. Very excited. It was a pleasure being able to meet you and talk with you. And the best of luck to you, man.
Same here, same here.